So this started out a Wag Arrow J3 Cub. And the fuselage was built by Wag Arrow, all welded up and everything. When I got it from my brother, I chopped the top part off where the wings hook on and converted it to a PA-18. So then I had to build wings. I bought spars from D&D in Florida.
D&E.
And drilled them up, took 2 tri-pacer wings, stripped all the ribs off of them, bought some extra ribs, used some of the hardware, the compression ribs and that stuff, and I had to buy a few more. And then the big thing on this is we had to put doublers front and back on the spar where the struts hook on to up the gross weight. Both front and rear spar. Those are 90 thousandths, they're 4 feet long. And we did that because we've installed a 200 horse Lycoming on this airplane. So the wings are coming along. They're, the brace wires in them are a mixture of different airplane stuff to make it all work out for lengthwise. I stuck to the larger size wires, except for right at the tip I went with the Piper Cub smaller tip wires. It's going to have stall fences on the end of the wings. It has full leading edge slats. It's got, I added 38 inches to the ailerons, and they're square instead of tapered on the end. And I think it's going to be a pretty good little airplane. Right now I'm making the leading edges for the wing, so that when I get ready to do that I can put them on. This is I had full sheets of metal here a few minutes ago. We chopped it up into pieces. This is the width of the leading edge. I took an original leading edge like this, and it was bent here and here square, 90 degrees. And I flattened it out to use as a pattern to show the width of the material. So I marked the sheets that way, and I ran it through the shear and sheared it off the right size. Then I lay it on the material that's cut, line up the edges, and then I've drawn on where it bends. So you lay that out, get it like, mark it like that, both ends. That way when you put it in the brake, you know where to put it into the brake. So what I do is I bend both ends 90 degrees up, and then I put it in my bender and go ahead and put the curve to it. Right now we'll bend these 90 degrees. Sometimes it's easier with 2 people, sometimes it works out okay this way. And just bend it. Line up your marks. Doesn't hurt to let your marks show, because that'll give you a little bit extra room putting them on. And then you wind up with this. You can see the end of it. It's okay to go a little over the 90 degrees because that'll make it fit tighter when it goes on. I'm using 20 thousandths T3 because that's what they recommend to install leading edge slats to. They just screw right to the metal. I don't know if that's really nice or not, but whatever. So I've made this thing. I like to wrap a towel around this pipe so it doesn't scratch the metal all up. It doesn't have to be perfect because there's a lot of spring back in that material. All you're doing is trying to give it an idea of where it's going to live for the rest of its life. Original Supercub leading edge or tri-face or whatever. You can see that the bend is not in the center of it. So it looks like it's about 1.5 inches off the center. So what I'm going to do, take my pattern and find out where the center is on this thing. Right there. That's center. Take my sheet, line up my marks. There's center. So that's what we're shooting for a rough center bend. And it's going to go like that. I'll try to line this up center in the V. Put this over the lines. Push it down that way. Make sure it's down all the way. It doesn't even hurt to give it a little bit of a... Most of that's going to spring back out of it when I open it, but the metal has got a memory, so when I put it on, it's going to come back. See how that happens? It has a bit of a memory. Now when I put it on the airplane, may need just a little bit more.
Would that be a tighter bend if you didn't have as much of the blanket wrapped around the pipe?
It would be, but the leading edge also is not that tight, so
Right.
you don't necessarily want it to be a tighter bend. Ideally, it'd be nice to have that under a press with a big board that you could just press it in there. But that'll work. Installed a lot of leading edges, and that seems to